Think bold and live legendary. Listen carefully. You were not born to tiptoe through life unnoticed. You were not designed to vanish into the fog of mediocrity, another face in a crowd that never dared to speak its truth. You were born to carve your name into the stone of history with hands blistered from effort and eyes ablaze with unshakable vision. Look at the world around you. Every monument, every empire, every invention sprung first from the mind of someone who refused to think small, someone who laughed in the face of caution, spat out the fear others tried to feed them, and declared, "I will not live according to your limits." That is what it means to think bold. You must kill the voice inside you that says you're not enough. Murder the whisper that says, "Maybe later, not me. Too risky, too hard." That voice is not your friend. It is the slow poison of the average life. It will rock you to sleep while your dreams rot in the graveyard of lost potential. Let me tell you this with absolute certainty. History remembers those who made others uncomfortable. The Wright brothers were told humans would never fly. Henry Ford was laughed out of the room for proposing the assembly line. Edison failed over 1,000 times before lighting the world. These men did not seek permission. They did not bow to the comfortable consensus. They saw what didn't exist and believed it could. That belief is the root of bold thinking. It is the refusal to surrender your imagination to the tyranny of the probable. But belief alone is nothing without clarity. You must know precisely what you want. Vague dreams yield vague results. You cannot simply wish for success or happiness as if those were items you can pick off a shelf. You must define them with blood-level honesty. What do you want so badly it haunts you? What vision do you see behind closed eyes that won't let you rest? Speak it. Write it. Make it real. Clarity is power. It is the blade that carves through the chaos of distraction. Without it, you are a wanderer lost in the desert, dying of thirst at the edge of an oasis you cannot see. You see, most people are not defeated by failure. They are defeated by confusion. They never took the time to chart the map. They never dared to ask themselves, "Why am I here? What is my purpose?" Purpose. The word itself carries a weight you can feel in your chest. It is the engine behind every act of greatness. When Carnegie built an empire of steel, when Disney imagined entire worlds on paper, when Mandela sat imprisoned for decades yet would not yield, they were guided by purpose. Purpose is what allows you to suffer and smile. It makes pain meaningful. Without it, you're simply enduring. What is your purpose? Find it, feed it, obsess over it. You must hold your purpose so close to your heart it becomes a vow, a promise you will never break, no matter how many times you are beaten to your knees. But purpose without discipline is a lie. Discipline is the difference between the dreamer and the legend. It is the unsexy, unseen work done day after day after day, when no one is cheering, when no one believes in you, when even you are tempted to abandon yourself. Discipline is waking before dawn to train your mind. It is staying late to master your craft. It is saying no to temptation, no to shortcuts, no to anything that would dilute your greatness. It is the steel spine of your ambition. Without discipline, you will betray your own potential. And let's be clear, discipline is not motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It is sugar in your veins, gone before you can savor it. Discipline is what remains when motivation deserts you. It is built on the promises you make to yourself when you are strong, and keep when you are weak. Now listen to me. The world will test you. It will ask you if you're serious. It will tempt you with comfort and mediocrity and the approval of the herd. Do you have the courage to say no? Do you have the courage to think so boldly that your very thoughts offend those who've settled for less? Because let me warn you, thinking bold is dangerous. It will cost you friends who want you to stay small so they can feel big. It will make you an outsider among those who fear their own potential. It will mark you as arrogant, crazy, unrealistic. Good. Wear those labels like armor. Let them remind you that you are different for a reason, that you refuse to shrink to fit someone else's idea of realistic. This is the price of a legendary life. You must be willing to risk ridicule for your dreams. You must be willing to stand alone. You must be willing to fail so spectacularly that the world gasps and then get up and try again. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is your teacher. No one who ever lived boldly escaped its lessons. Lincoln lost elections. Edison burned laboratories. Ford went bankrupt. Disney was told he lacked imagination. The difference is they kept going. They used failure to refine their clarity, strengthen their discipline, deepen their purpose. So must you. Your pain will sculpt you if you let it. Your setbacks will educate you if you listen. Your doubts will strengthen you if you fight them. You must decide to see adversity as the forge that tempers you into something unbreakable. No great life was ever lived on easy terms. And the moment you accept this, truly accept it, you will be free. Free from the lie that success is supposed to be comfortable. Free from the illusion that others will carry you. Free from the childish wish for an easy path. You will see the truth. The path is meant to be hard, because greatness is meant for the few who will endure what the many will not. You will see that the very difficulty of your journey is what will make your story worth telling. And if you embrace that, if you commit to it without reservation, you will earn the right to say you lived. Not existed, not survived. Lived. Lived boldly. Lived legendarily. Now let that truth settle in your bones, because this is where most people turn back. When the dream demands sacrifice, when the vision calls for blood, when the path grows dark and silent and no one is there to tell them it's worth it. But you must be different. You must become your own light in the dark. You must become your own greatest ally, your fiercest protector, your loudest believer. Because here is another truth the world will not tell you. No one is coming to save you. No mentor, no partner, no friend, no family member can carry your destiny for you. They can guide you, inspire you, cheer you on. But the work, the real work, will always be yours alone. This is the burden of the bold, and it is also the gift, because in that solitude you discover your true power. You learn that you do not need permission to be great. You do not need validation to keep going. You do not need applause to know you are on the right path. You are the architect of your fate, the sculptor of your soul, the commander of your destiny. And when you realize this, truly realize it, you become unstoppable. You will stop begging life for scraps and start demanding your throne. You will no longer live at the mercy of circumstances, because you will create circumstances. You will see obstacles not as curses but as tests, each one designed to see how badly you want what you say you want. Because talk is cheap. Anyone can dream. Anyone can want. Few will pay the price of early mornings and late nights, the price of rejection, ridicule and failure, the price of uncertainty and fear, the price of growth which always feels like death to the parts of you that must be left behind. So ask yourself now, in this moment of ruthless honesty, are you willing to pay that price, or will you settle for the illusion of safety that comes from living small? Let me tell you about safety. Safety is the prison they build for you with your own fear. They will tell you to be reasonable, to be careful, to be realistic. But realistic for whom? For the masses who traded their dreams for comfort? For those who clock in and clock out without ever feeling truly alive? For those who will die with their song still trapped in their throat? No, you were not born for that. You were born to risk, to dare, to bet everything on yourself, because that is what it means to live legendary. A legendary life is not given, it is earned. It is built from the rubble of failure, the sweat of relentless effort, the scars of countless battles with your own weakness. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is for you, if you choose it. And choice is everything. Understand this. Your life is the sum of your choices, not your intentions, not your wishes, not your excuses, your choices. Every moment you choose comfort over growth. Every day you choose distraction over focus. Every time you choose doubt over action. Those choices write the story of your life. And one day, maybe soon, maybe far, you will face the reckoning. When the final chapter begins to close, when you can no longer pretend you have endless time, when the mirror shows you not only your face but your truth, on that day you will ask yourself, did I live? Did I dare? Did I matter? Did I fulfill the purpose that burned inside me, or did I waste it? This is why you must choose now. While there is breath in your lungs and fire in your heart, choose the hard path, the meaningful path, the path that demands everything from you and in return gives you everything worth having, because the easy path gives you nothing but regret. Regret, the slow poison of the spirit. It will haunt you. It will visit you in quiet moments and scream in your ears that you could have been more, done more, given more. Do not let that be your story. Write a better one. Write the kind of story that demands to be told, the kind people whisper about long after you're gone, the kind that makes them believe they can do it too. Because living legendary is not just about you, it's about those you will inspire, those you will help, those who will see in you a living, breathing example of what is possible. You will become proof that bold thinking is not madness, but magic. Proof that vision, discipline, and relentless action can bend reality to your will. Proof that one life fully lived can change countless others. That is your charge. That is your duty. That is your gift. And it begins now, in this breath, in this decision. Refuse to think small. Refuse to live timidly. Refuse to die with your greatness unspent. Think bold. Live legendary. Hold on to that fire. Don't let it flicker, because now comes the hardest part, the part most abandoned. The consistency. Anyone can make a vow in a moment of inspiration. Anyone can shout their dreams to the sky. But the legend is forged in what you do when the inspiration fades. It's in the days when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you're scared, when the results don't come, when no one is watching. That is where champions are born. You see, the world celebrates results but forgets the grind. They'll call you lucky when you win, but they'll never see the nights you bled for it. They'll admire the finished sculpture, but not the countless blows of the chisel. They'll praise the speech, but not the years spent swallowing failure and learning to rise. Understand this: you will be tested. Your dreams will be attacked on all fronts by circumstance, by doubt, by the voices of others who surrendered their own ambitions. They will try to make you doubt your worth. They will laugh at your vision. They will whisper that you're aiming too high, that you're not special, that you should be content with less. Ignore them, because they are not really talking to you. They are talking to the part of themselves they abandoned. Their words are confessions of their own defeat. Do not let their fear infect you. You must become immune to it. You must cultivate a mind so strong, so certain, so unshakably committed to your vision that no amount of noise can drown it out. How? By mastering your thoughts. Because everything begins there. Every empire, every masterpiece, every revolution began first as a thought. Your thoughts are the seeds of your reality. What you dwell on, you build. If you feed your mind fear, you will live in chains. If you feed it doubt, you will sabotage yourself at every turn. If you feed it excuses, you will live a life of quiet desperation. But if you feed it vision, if you feed it certainty, if you feed it unrelenting belief, you will create miracles. Do not be casual with your mind. Guard it like a fortress. What you read, what you watch, who you listen to, who you spend time with, these things are not harmless. They are the architects of your mindset. You wouldn't plant weeds in your own garden. Why plant them in your mind? Choose deliberately. Curate your influences. Feed your mind the thoughts of giants. Study those who came before you, not to imitate them, but to learn the principles that shape their greatness. Lincoln's resolve, Edison's relentless experimentation, Ford's uncompromising vision, Disney's audacious imagination, Mandela's unbreakable spirit. These are not superhumans. They were human, just like you. They had fear, doubt, weakness. What made them legends was not an absence of these things, but their mastery over them. They refused to bow to their own limitations. So must you. You see, this is not about arrogance. This is about responsibility. Because if you don't claim your potential, the world loses something it can never replace. Your ideas, your solutions, your art, your leadership, your example. There are people you were born to impact, lives you were meant to change, generations you could inspire. But none of that happens if you choose fear. None of it happens if you choose comfort. None of it happens if you decide it's good enough to be average. Your gifts are not for you alone. They are a trust, a responsibility. You were given them to be used. Squandering them is the greatest failure there is. Because it's not just your life you waste, it's all the lives you could have touched, all the people you could have helped, all the ripples you could have sent across time. Think about that. When you choose small thinking, you don't just rob yourself, you rob the world. And when you choose bold thinking, you don't just elevate yourself, you elevate everyone around you. Your courage gives others permission to be brave. Your vision expands their horizons. Your success shows them what's possible. This is why you must hold yourself to the highest standard, not out of ego, out of duty, out of gratitude for the gift you've been given. And yes, gratitude. Because the foundation of all this is gratitude, not the weak gratitude that says, I guess this is enough, but the fierce gratitude that says, I will honor what I've been given by using it fully. Gratitude for the chance to try, to fail, to rise, to create, to serve, to leave something behind that matters. Real gratitude is not passive. It is active. It demands that you give your best in return for what you've received, that you don't waste this one brief, beautiful, brutal chance at life, because it is brief, no matter how long it lasts. One day it will end. One day you will take your final breath. And on that day, what will matter? Not the approval you chased, not the money you hoarded, not the comfort you clung to. What will matter is that you lived boldly, that you risked, that you tried, that you loved without fear, that you used every ounce of what you had been given, that you leave this world emptier of your potential than you found it, that you die spent, not with regret, but with satisfaction, the satisfaction of knowing you honored your gift, that you lived your legend. Stay with me. Let these words cut through the fog of doubt. Because there is one final truth you must face if you are to live legendary. You will be forced to become someone new. You cannot drag your old self into your new life. You cannot hold on to the habits, the fears, the excuses, the smallness that kept you where you were. That old self will fight for its survival. It will seduce you with comfort. It will try to convince you that change is too hard, that risk is too dangerous, that dreaming is childish. But you must become ruthless with yourself. You must kill the parts of you that cannot come along. You must let them die so that something greater can be born. This is not cruelty. This is growth. A seed must break to become a tree. A caterpillar must dissolve to become a butterfly. Steel is forged in fire. You cannot be reborn while clinging to what you used to be. And yes, it will hurt. It will feel like tearing your own flesh, because it is. You are tearing away the falsehoods you wrapped around yourself for safety, the illusions that protected you from disappointment, but also imprisoned you in mediocrity. Do not mourn them, bury them, and rise. Rise is the version of you that your dreams require, because your dreams have requirements. They are not for just anyone. They demand discipline. They demand courage. They demand sacrifice. They demand transformation. Most will not pay that price. They will say it's too hard, and they're right. It is. But you are not most people. If you were, you would have stopped listening by now. But you're still here because something in you refuses to die. A spark that refuses to be extinguished. That spark is your calling. It is your proof. Proof that you were meant for more. So fan it. Feed it. Turn it into a blaze that burns away every limitation, because no one else will do it for you. You must become your own revolution, your own salvation, your own hero, and you can. Do not insult yourself by pretending otherwise. Do not diminish the divine force that lives inside you. You are capable of more than you can comprehend, more than you've been told, more than you've dared to believe. But belief alone is not enough. Belief must become action, relentless, unyielding, courageous action. Action in the face of fear, action in the face of doubt, action when it's hard, action when it's boring, action when you want to quit. Because that is where transformation happens, not in grand gestures, but in daily discipline, in the quiet hours when no one is watching, in the private battles you fight in your own mind. That is where you build the life they will one day call legendary. And when you've built it, they will ask you how you did it. They will want the secret, the shortcut, the hack. You will look them in the eye and tell them the truth. There is no secret, only a decision. A decision to think bolder than anyone told you was allowed, to see what others refuse to see, to want what others are too afraid to want, to work when others sleep, to sacrifice when others indulge, to risk when others retreat, to persist when others quit. That is the difference. That is the whole of it. And it is yours to choose, or not. But understand, the choice will not wait forever. Time is passing. It is the only thing you cannot earn back. You can make money. You can mend relationships. You can rebuild your body. But you can never reclaim a wasted year, a wasted decade, a wasted life. So choose now. Do not wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is only now. This moment, beating like a drum in your chest. This moment that demands a decision. Do you go back to the small life you were handed, or do you claim the legendary life you were born to create? No one can answer for you. No one can walk the path for you. But know this, if you choose boldness, the universe will test you. It will strip away your illusions. It will break you down to your essence. But it will also reveal your power, your truth, your destiny, if you have the courage to see it through. So stand up. Look your fear in the eye and say the words that have set every legend in motion. I will not live small. Say it until you believe it. Say it until there is no part of you that doubts. Say it until your very being radiates it, because that is the beginning of everything. Think bold. Live legendary. Refuse to be ordinary. Refuse to waste your gift. Refuse to let fear win. Become the person you were meant to be. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, because now is all you have, and now is enough. If you choose it, stay with me. Let's keep going. Because if you truly choose this path of bold thinking and legendary living, there is one more truth you must embrace. You will never truly arrive. There is no final destination where you get to say, I'm done. Growth is infinite. Mastery has no finish line. The moment you believe you have arrived is the moment you begin to die. You must fall in love with becoming, with evolving, with constantly raising your standards. Because the reward for achieving your goals is not comfort. It's the chance to pursue even greater goals. The reward for overcoming yourself is discovering there is always a higher self to become. And this is not a burden. It is the greatest privilege life offers, to wake up every day with the chance to build, to sculpt, to shape your reality with thought, with word, with action, to know that you are never finished because you are infinite potential in human form. Do not insult that potential by caging it in certainty. Certainty is the killer of possibility. If you are certain you know it all, you cannot learn. If you are certain you've done enough, you will stop growing. If you are certain you're right, you will never see new paths. So remain humble in your pursuit, humble enough to know there is always more to learn, more to give, more to become. But do not mistake humility for weakness. True humility is knowing how strong you are and knowing you can always be stronger. It is recognizing your gifts and refusing to waste them. It is honoring your calling by working relentlessly to fulfill it. That is the paradox of the legendary life. You are both student and master, teacher and beginner, leader and servant. Your greatness is not in dominating others. It is in serving something bigger than yourself. Your vision, your purpose, your people, your ideals. When you live only for yourself, your victories are hollow. But when you live for something larger, your victories echo through time. They become legacy, and legacy is what you should be thinking about, not for the sake of ego, but for the sake of impact. What will you leave behind? What will remain long after your heart beats its last? Money fades, fame fades, but the impact you have on others endures. The lives you change, the minds you open, the hearts you strengthen, that is true wealth. That is true immortality. So think about your legacy every day. Let it guide your choices. Ask yourself, will this decision make me proud on my deathbed? Will this action serve the vision I claim to hold? Will this moment be worthy of the life I've been given? Because make no mistake, you have been given a gift, a life, a mind, a body, a spirit, a chance. Most waste it. They sleepwalk through their days. They numb themselves with distraction. They bury their dreams under obligation and fear. They trade their birthright for security. Do not be one of them. Wake up. Wake up to the possibility that lives in you, to the vision that haunts you, to the power you pretend you don't have. Wake up and see that you are not here to obey. You are here to create, to lead, to inspire, to heal, to build, to innovate, to risk, to love, to serve, to transform, to transcend. This is your charge. No one can do it for you. No one will do it for you. But you can do it. You can rise. You can become everything you were born to be. If only you will choose. Choose to think bigger than you've ever thought. Choose to believe in yourself more fiercely than anyone ever taught you was safe. Choose to act with a courage that offends those who settled. Choose to fail so you can learn. Choose to learn so you can grow. Choose to grow so you can give. Because in the end, that is what it's about. Giving. Leaving this world better than you found it. Leaving people stronger because they knew you. Leaving a legacy so bright it lights the way for those who follow. So let them call you crazy. Let them call you obsessed. Let them say you're too much. Because too much is exactly what this world needs. It needs people who refuse to dim their light, who refuse to shrink, who refuse to apologize for their dreams, who will not be contained, who will not be tamed, who will not be silenced. People who think bold, who live legendary. Be one of them. Decide right now that you will. Say it out loud if you have to. Write it down. Etch it into your mind until it becomes your new default. Because when you choose it fully, the world will feel it. Your energy will change rooms. Your words will shake souls. Your example will awaken sleeping giants in others. And that is how you change the world. One bold thought, one courageous action, one legendary life at a time. Breathe deep. Let's go further, because the promise you make today is not to be taken lightly. It is a covenant with yourself, a line drawn in the sand, a vow that you will no longer betray your own greatness, because betrayal doesn't always come from others. The worst betrayal is self-betrayal. When you tell yourself you'll try tomorrow, when you make excuses for why you can't, when you water down your dreams so you don't scare yourself, when you say yes to what you hate and no to what you love. That is the quiet treason that kills people before they die. So stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself you're fine when you're restless. Stop saying you're satisfied when your soul is starving. Stop pretending you don't want more because you're afraid you can't have it. Tell yourself the truth, that you want it, that you're hungry for it, that you're willing to pay the price, that you will do whatever it takes to become the person who can hold it, because you cannot hold a legendary life with ordinary hands. You must make yourself worthy of it. This is the part no one wants to hear. They want shortcuts. They want the secret formula. They want the life without the death of the old self. But you know better. You know that to be reborn, you must burn away what no longer serves you. Your laziness, your fear, your blaming, your addiction to comfort, your need for approval, your hunger to be liked more than you want to be great. Burn it all. Reduce it to ash. Let the flames of your purpose consume it, so that from those ashes, something stronger can rise. This is the work. This is the sacrifice. This is the cost of admission to the life most only dream about. And it is worth it, because the alternative is unthinkable. To stay small, to hide, to settle, to spend your days numbing the ache of what you know you could have been. Regret is the price of refusing to pay the price, and it is the most expensive price there is. So choose now, commit now, because the moment you do, everything changes. Your posture changes, your voice changes, your energy changes. People will feel it before they even understand it. They will sense that you are not like the rest, not because you're better, but because you decided, because you chose, because you refuse to lie to yourself any longer. And you will attract those who are ready to wake up. You will repel those who want to stay asleep. That is the cost of authenticity. That is the cost of greatness. You will lose people, but you will find yourself. You will lose comfort, but you will find peace. You will lose certainty, but you will find possibility. And when you look back years from now, you will thank yourself for being so brutally honest, for being so uncompromising, for being so unafraid to demand more from yourself, because you will be living the life you once only fantasized about. Not because it was easy, but because you made it non-negotiable. You made it inevitable through relentless action, through unbreakable belief, through day after day consistency when motivation was nowhere to be found. That is how you build something that lasts. That is how you carve your name into the stone of history, not with dreams alone, but with sweat, with sacrifice, with stubbornness, with resilience. You must become so committed that quitting is not even an option you entertain. That is the level required. Most won't go there. They'll dip a toe in the water and complain that it's too cold. But you will dive in. You will learn to swim in waters that would drown the average, because you decided that average was not your destiny. You decided that fitting in was not your goal. You decided that your dreams mattered more than their approval. This is the raw, unpolished, unflinching truth of living legendary. It is not for everyone, but it can be for you, if you choose it. So I ask you again, what will you choose? The safe path, well lit and crowded with the comfortable damned, or the narrow, dark, glorious path that few have the courage to tread? The path where you will meet yourself, your real self, stripped of excuses, stripped of masks, stripped of fear, the self that knows what it came here to do, the self that demands you rise, the self that will not let you sleepwalk through life. Answer that self now. Tell it you hear it. Tell it you're ready. Tell it you will not betray it again. Because once you make that promise, everything changes. You will see the world differently, not as something happening to you, but as raw material waiting for your command. You will stop asking for permission. You will stop explaining yourself. You will stop diluting your vision to make others comfortable. You will burn with a purpose, so clear it blinds the doubters, so bright it lights the way for others, and so fierce it cannot be extinguished. This is the power of bold thinking. This is the legacy of a legendary life. And it is yours, if you want it, if you will claim it, if you will pay for it in full. Think bold, live legendary, now.